What a nice little win that was for the Mariners. Not only do they get the huge win today, pretty much every team they're chasing and that's chasing them lost. So a great day for the Mariners. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome in to the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. The Mariners defeat the Athletics 3-1 tonight. They improved to 57-50 on the season. They are now just 3 games back in the American League West. Houston is reeling a little bit. They've lost 5 in a row. The Mariners are in the second wild card spot. They are a half game behind the Yankees for the top wild card spot. They're a half game ahead of Boston, who's in the third wild card spot, and they're a full game above Texas, who's the first team out of a playoff spot. Hopefully that all makes some sense. Bottom line is the Mariners are in a playoff position, 107 games into the season. Hope you're all having a great night. Luis Castillo was absolutely fantastic tonight. And, we've talked about this staff having some issues with, finishing starts and going 5 innings and having a blow up inning or pitching well, but not getting deep into the games. Man, Castillo was on tonight, 7 innings, only the 1 earned run. Not even just like, a gutsy veteran start. That is a great start for Luis Castillo. And how good has he been this year? And all the talks about trading him in the offseason. I mentioned it too. I'm not, immune to this, but man, where would they be without Luis Castillo this season? He has easily been their most consistent starting pitcher. I'd probably say Woo's been a little bit better, but I think Castillo's maybe been more consistent than Woo. I don't know. It doesn't matter who's better, but that is a great start against Castillo, against a good offense. The A's bottom of the order is not amazing right now, but Lawrence Butler, Nick Kurtz, Brent Rooker, Langolier, Soderstrom, and Duhar, those are pretty good hitters that the Mariners are facing 1 through 6. So to shut them out or to keep them to just 1 run through 7 innings is really impressive. Even their bottom of the order, like Luis Urias can be a little bit of a pest. So can Schumann. It's not, nothing hitters at the bottom. So that's a good lineup in a ballpark that allows a lot of runs to be scored as well. So everything put together, and that is a great start for Luis Castillo. Our man Ben Williamson deserves some love. It looked like it was going to be a rough night for him. He grounds into double play with the bases loaded. But Ben goes to show tonight that you don't just have to get it done with the bat. He does have a double and a single, but he made 3 or 4 incredible plays. The play in the 8th inning off the bat of Soderstrom with Matt Brash on the hill was outstanding. The diving play that on the play where the run scored, where Brent Rooker was batting, was tremendous. Dives down from his knees, throws the runner out at second base. I don't think Polanco had his foot on the bag. It probably would have been worth a challenge. I don't know if they even noticed that, or if anybody did. The A's probably, the hitter, or it's going to be the base runner doesn't notice, but that's still a tremendous play from Williamson. Turns a double play in the 9th inning. And he had another, I think, diving stop that he made somewhere in there. And that matters. That could have saved 3 or 4 runs. That may have been the difference in this ball game. We want to talk about those losses that we look back on. Well, things like that could be the wins you look back on if they get in. So a tremendous, tremendous night from Ben Williamson. Josh Naylor hits his first Mariner home run, gets on base a couple times. Not a great offensive night. I will say the Mariners had 2 home runs in the 2nd inning. Well, no, they didn't. They had 2 near home runs in the 2nd inning. I thought Polanco's actually was fair, to be perfectly honest. And then Dylan Moore just missed one as well. So there was some, this game wasn't that far away from being a 5-6 run game. I'm not going to praise the offense. They didn't do anything against the A's bullpen. 3 runs is not great. But this is a more Mariners win, right? This is kind of what we're more used to seeing in the past. Dominant 7-inning start, Spire, Brash, Munoz, and just enough from the offense. This is kind of how they were winning last year, more so. So, if they can get more of this is great, because it takes a little bit of pressure off the offense. If the offense does go into a little bit of a slump, the pitching could be good enough that they can win these games right here. And then, like we said, the standings, just a great night for the Mariners. Houston loses again. Like I said, they've lost 5 in a row. Anaheim helps out by beating Texas, which is huge. Boston loses after a massive rain delay in the bottom of the 9th, and Minnesota walks them off. And the Yankees lose as well. We kind of think, I think the Yankees are kind of viewed as untouchable sometimes. I know, at least in my head, they are a little bit, but they're only a half game ahead of the Mariners for the first wild card. And It does matter what position you're in. One, if you get the top wild card, you get a home series in the playoffs, but it allows you that separation. So if Texas does chase you down, you've got some teams in between that it's okay. So you want to kind of keep those buffer teams in between you there. So a really, really good night for the Mariners overall. And listen, we're at the point of the season, 107 games, only 55 left. Wow, that's just incredible. Every night matters, right? Like every day that the day ends and the Mariners gain ground or get ahead or stay in a playoff spot is a good thing. And then as I knock over a coffee cup, that's great. That's going to go over. That'll be nice to clean up. And now just 3 games back in the American League West as well, which is just absolutely huge. Like I said, I say it every night on here, but the Astros are reeling. They are really banged up. You still play them 3 more times. Just get that to 2. Then that's doable. Then you play them, win the series. It's 1. You have the tiebreaker potentially. So this AL West could get really, really, it already is tight, but it could get even tighter here in the next few days. Houston will win again. Mariners going to lose again. So, they could extend the lead at some point too, but just an outstanding productive night for the Mariners. And they've set themselves up well in this series. A couple people noticed, I saw on Twitter that Emerson Hancock was in the dugout. I'm thinking they're going to do what we talked about yesterday, that Mariners Sir had mentioned, that I mentioned in the post-game recap. I think Hancock's going to start game 3. 1, that makes tonight's win even bigger. 2, man, if you can get tomorrow is huge. But I think they're going to go Hancock game 3. 1, it gives Brian Wu an extra day's rest, which I'm okay with. I am fine with that down the stretch. I don't think it's them, forcing anything or being like, oh, well, we'll start Hancock. It's lining things up for a huge 4-game series against Texas this weekend, where the Mariners will likely have Brian Wu, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, and Luis Castillo. So you're going to feel pretty good about that. The Rangers will have DeGrom going in the series. So it's going to be a battle. I don't mind the Mariners doing that, at all. If they can win tomorrow and make it even, not that any game at this stage of the year is gravy. You need them all, but it would certainly make it, a lot easier to do that. So I think that's going to be the plan here. Let's get into the box score. Cannot say enough good things about Castillo tonight. I think this was his best start of the season. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. The command was outstanding tonight, pounding the strike zone, some quick outs. The only hit he gave up, there was an extra base hit, was that one that Julio just missed. That was a triple and was with 2 outs. So it wasn't a devastating triple. The rest were just kind of some not bloops, but seeing eye singles and stuff like that. And to go 7 as well. And now your bullpen is fine. Even with using Spire, Brash, and Munoz, they should all be good to go tomorrow behind Logan Evans. So you didn't have to do anything where like Castillo wasn't on. He only went 4 innings. He had to use a bunch of guys. Or he pitches well, but only goes 5 innings. So to go 7 is huge. We have not had a lot of 7-inning starts this year from the starting pitcher. So that was huge from Castillo. Spire was fine first 2/3 of an inning. That walk by, was it Thomas? Colby Thomas had that walk. I thought that was just a really good at bat. He spit on some good pitches there from Gabe. It happens. And he gets Nick Kurtz out, and that's the big bat that you need to get out in that situation. I didn't think Matt Brash was great. Just did not have it. Couldn't find the strike zone. Hung a bit of a slider to who got the first hit off of him, because Kurtz popped out, Rooker, and then walks Langoliers with some really uncompetitive pitches. And then I don't want to say got lucky, because I don't think Soderstrom hit that ball that hard, but it's still a nice play from Williamson. Maybe we can see what I don't know. I don't see what the exit velo was. I don't have Savant up right now, but still a great play, obviously. But Brash not super sharp, but got out of it. And then Munoz in the 9th gives up the leadoff hit to Andujar. I'm thinking, oh, come on. Like, please don't do this again. But then gets, is it Cortez? Cortez to ground into the double play, and then finishes off Schumann with the strikeout. It's actually a pretty clean 9th inning for Munoz. Then he actually looked pretty good to Andujar, just a little bit of a cement mixer slider, not a terrible pitch. It wasn't quite right down the middle. It was a little low, but kind of backed up a little bit, and Andujar was able to send it into center field for base hit. But Munoz locks down his 24 save. Again, great job by the pitching staff overall. Castillo is great. I thought Spire was fine. His walk, not all walks are created equal. His walk to Thomas was much more tolerable than Brash's was to Langoliers. Spire threw some good pitches that were just spit on. Brash couldn't find the zone. Brash was the only guy I just don't think was very sharp, but still got out of it. And then Munoz, a solid ninth inning to end it. Offensively for the Mariners, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks. Not amazing, but enough here. I thought they really could have opened this game up in the second inning against JP Sears, kind of allowed him to settle in a little bit. I don't think JP Sears was good tonight at all. I thought he was pretty bad. But again, some of it's just a little bit, the fly balls go a little bit to the left and aren't home runs. But they did a nice job with some situational hitting. They got Naylor in from third in the fourth inning. Ben Williamson leads off the fifth with a double. Cal finds a way to bring him in. So, that was good to see because his team's been so home run reliant, which is great. Great. Please keep hitting home runs, guys. But also get those runners in from third with less than 2 outs. Find a way to get those leadoff doubles in. If you want to hit the 2-run home run, great. But you can also, hit a little grounder to second and then a sac fly and boom. You get a run and you need those runs. And those 2 runs were the difference, right? Naylor gets the home run, but the other 2 is what wins you the ball game tonight, essentially. So, like I said, I'm not going to praise the offense tonight. 3's not great against a pitching staff. You'd like to see more, but they do find a way, to do enough here. JP had a day off. He needed it. I know Dylan Moore's toast and we're done with them, but you had to give JP a day off, and this was a good opportunity to do it. Julio was over. I thought Julio was bad today. I haven't said that much recently, but Julio was really bad today. Struck out twice against Sears, which, Sears not a big strikeout guy. Like seeing Julio put in play. And then he grounded into a double play after, I think it was Ben Williamson had a base hit. So rough day for Julio. Cal, good to see, just not the home run. A couple singles today for Cal, beat out that one. Little infield hit for Cal. And then a nice RBI single in the left field that scored Ben. Nice solid day for Cal, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Randy was 1 for 4. He did have a brutal at-bat after that Cal infield hit. He grounded into a double play on a 3-0 pitch. Not against guys swinging 3-0. Let it fly. Randy can do it, but super frustrating when you do that and you hit into a double play. Great day for Josh Naylor, 2 for 4, a single and the home run, his first Mariners home run. Scores 2 runs, also steals another base. So Josh Naylor has now 3, I think, stolen bases since becoming a Seattle Mariner. Sneaky speed from the big man. So he has been a nice addition so far. What I love about Josh Naylor, on the at-bat where he had the base hit, he swings and misses at 2 pitches that really weren't close, but he has such good contact skills, even though he'll swing and miss, that it's almost like, hey, I'm going to take a crack at these couple pitches, see what happens, but he still has good discipline. He'll still spit on some close ones with 2 strikes, and he just is able to put bat to ball that it's almost like his first 2 swings are more of a, let me see if I can get into it. Okay, then I'm going to settle down and have the professional at bat. And it's just weird because you think of a guy like that would have a high strikeout rate, but he doesn't. He's just got this great ability to kind of settle in. So he's a guy, if you see him swing at 2 pitches and go, what WTF are you doing? I wouldn't panic because he just settles in with 2 strikes and finds a way. Polanco was 1 for 4, had a bit of a bloop single. Garver 0 for 3, but the sac fly was a big one. It was Naylor got to third with nobody out, and then Polanco pops up. And, listen, we're all thinking the Mariners aren't going to score there. So nice job by Garver. It was hit to dead center field very well. So, I'll take that. He found a way to get that run in. Canzone quietly a nice little game today. He's been scuffling a little bit, but had a solid line drive base hit in the 9th inning and had 2 walks. So against a lefty too, Dom's had some better at-bats against left-handed pitching. It's interesting to see them playing him more against lefties. So Dom quietly on base 3 times today. Dylan Moore was 0 for 3 with a walk. I mean, he did just miss a home run by like a foot. I mean, again, though, when we're talking about a foul ball being the highlight, I can't say. Dylan just, man, really good Mariner. Quietly, like just a solid professional here. You could always rely on him. I just don't think he's on this team come Thursday. I don't know I'm sure the Mariners are baffled too. I don't get it. I don't know why he's just like legitimately borderline useless now. I don't mean useless, like, just on the baseball field. He's just, I guess not useless because he could pinch run and play some defense, but I don't know. And I'm tired of talking about it. I don't mind that he played. JP needed a day off. Who else is going to play shortstop for you? I don't know why he's dropped off this much. I wish I had an answer for it, but you just, you'd love to think it's going to bounce back. And I keep believing it will. Like every time I see him line up, I'm kind of like, okay, like he's got to do something today, but it just doesn't happen. Ben Williamson, 2 for 3 with the run scored and some great defense. Would have loved for one of those 2 hits to have been in that bases loaded at bat. Would have been great and really opened this thing up. But Ben Williamson has a very valuable game today for the Seattle Mariners for sure. One of his better games overall as a Mariner. And not much else to say. Really solid win today for the Mariners. Nice bounce back after a rough finish to the series yesterday. Castillo, the Bulldog, gets it done. The Rock on the hill tonight. It's going to be tough the next 2 games because I do think you're going to have you're definitely having Logan Evans tomorrow. Do you think it's going to be Emerson Hancock on Wednesday? So it's going to be tough. You can find a way to split these next 2. You take it. It's a series win. Gives you a winning road trip. That's a good thing. Good today with everybody losing. Certainly doesn't give you like a buffer in terms of, oh, you can lose the next 8 games and you're totally fine. But it does give you a little bit where if you do drop one, it's not the end of the world here. So just a good day for the Mariners. One of the, I shouldn't say one of the few. They've had some really good days, but just where everything kind of went their way on this Monday. So keep it going tomorrow. Listen, the A's, certainly coming in hot, went to Houston, swept 4. I do like their lineup, but it's still not a very good baseball team. They're 17 games under 500. Their run differential is like negative 150 something. It might be probably better than that now after that Astros series. The pitching is not very good. You face Severino tomorrow, he can be good, but also very hittable. So if Logan Evans can give you 5 innings, 2-3 runs, should have a shot to win the ball game tomorrow. So hopefully the offense has a little bit bigger day than they did today. Need that a little bit tomorrow and probably Wednesday. That's all I've got. Like, comment, subscribe. Did I ask for that early on? I don't know if I did. I think I jumped right into the standings, didn't I? Well, if you made it this far, please like the video. Comment your thoughts on the team down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.